Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. It is time for some more Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 replay cast action. Gonna be casting a Zerg versus Protoss with AlphaStar as per the usual. It's going to be AlphaStar taking on a Masters Protoss, which, AlphaStar plays around a Masters level, usually a bit above it. So this Protoss player, I think, has a bit of a hill to climb, as AlphaStar's Zerg is pretty darn good. But you never know. The last game I cast with AlphaStar was actually the one which I think the Protoss player just, proxied and made, 20 proxy immortals. So you never know what kind of abuse is going to be heading this robot's way. Of course, I know it's not actually a robot. It's an artificial intelligence or deep mind, whatever you want to call it. We take a look here. This Protoss player, being a bit of a pain, blocked AlphaStar's expansion, so AlphaStar forced to go into an early pool. Seems rather easy to bait AlphaStar into going for this. And then the probe just still sharking about, scouting around. All the while, this Masters Protoss going to be throwing up a gateway here. Probe moving down towards the natural. And then the hatchery does finally get on up. So we'll see how AlphaStar is going to go for this. It has shown a fair bit of aggression when it plays Zerg. Likes to go for timing attacks and things like that. Just like a ton of roaches, ton of queens even being pulled in with it. And yeah, we just take a look here. AlphaStar, it's just firing up its queen, just macroing away normally. Nothing out of the ordinary. It usually is the Protoss player who dictates the pace of the game. This guy, oh, by the way, also has himself that fancy trophy. I think after this commentary, by the way, I saw the countdown for a tournament starting. I was like, I'm going to sign up for a tournament in the Starcraft 2 client. There's the automated ones, and I thought, I'm gonna give it a whirl. So after this cast, I'm gonna try playing in that. I was honestly kind of waiting for Blizzard to do more with the tournaments, because they kind of promised that they would, maybe 2v2 ones or ones with more rounds. But of course, that never happened, and I wouldn't hold your breath on that one either. Now the two lings for AlphaStar are gonna be crossing the map here. This Adept is gonna get on out. Oh, the lings for AlphaStar actually attack the shield battery just for half a second. That's kind of interesting. They really should be scouting. Looking for this Twilight Council. It will indeed be scouted, but it's already been seen by the Overlord. So I guess that's why AlphaStar was like, sure, just attack that cybernetics core, because why not? Now we take a look here. That Twilight Council is finishing on up. Resonating Glaives is going to be the tech of choice from the Protoss. Now, I don't know how confident the Protoss can feel about this push, or potentially going for an Adept timing attack, because the fact that this Protoss has an Overlord right above your Twilight Council, AlphaStar sees that it's researching, is just kind of interesting. Now, this is that's something that I'm actually curious about, that I just had a thought for that. As AlphaStar runs across the map with all of these lings it made, it really has cut drones, and it's just making a ton of Zerglings. I don't think it's going to get through these two Adepts. Soon to be 3 Adepts. I don't think there is a chance that it's going to make it through. Protoss player shades that one Adept back, so it's going to be covered there. But yeah, that was a big commitment of lings there for AlphaStar. I kind of got cut off there a little bit, but as I was saying, I'm a little bit curious as to whether AlphaStar picks up on the visual cues of buildings, because it seems that it reacts to very physical things like attacks and stuff, but it has seemed to say it's never really seen cloaked units or anything like that. So it's really kind of curious whether AlphaStar is actually going to notice the fact that there's something researching on that Twilight Council or not. And oh, look at this, it's going to be a Dark Shrine follow-up. Not a very, or actually it is stealthy. The Overlord starting to head away. Meanwhile, there's a proxy pylon that hasn't been spotted either. So these Adepts are going to be shading across the map. This one is actually being warped in right in range of this Overlord, so AlphaStar probably has a bit of a heads up this attack is coming in. It's going to be Resonating Glaive Adepts with a Dark Templar follow-up. We'll see if AlphaStar is going to get caught off guard by this. It does move its Overlord back on in, so it will see the Dark Shrine, so it knows. But whether or not it's able to stop these Adepts, I'm not sure. Its economy is still hurting from the very early Ling commitment it went for. It is going to get itself a nice wraparound on these Adepts for the most part, catching a fair few of them there. 3 of these Adepts remain, so they're just cutting into these Zerglings as well as they can. A few drones going to be getting focused down here, but so far, looks like AlphaStar is going to clean this up. Hasn't taken too much damage yet. And the Protoss player is still on 2 bases, which is a very important fact behind this. We actually see a double robo follow-up behind this, which is kind of nuts, based on the fact that there's no 3rd base up. It's not often you see a Protoss go 2 base robo follow-up. This is what you get when you're casting a random ladder game that AlphaStar played. It's a little bit of a surprise. AlphaStar trying to counterattack, but that one Adept with the shield battery can hold on essentially forever. These Lings and DT, or these Adepts and DTs gonna move on in. The DTs will actually help kill the Queens. They can do alright versus Ling. And it looks like there is enough Protoss here. I say that until the rest of these Lings show on up, and these units are just gonna be dead. AlphaStar holding this attack rather well. Now, economy is still very even, though. We take a look here. Drone count, 45 to 46. The 3rd base is up for AlphaStar, though. Whereas this Protoss player, if AlphaStar scouts this, I don't know if his 3rd base is going to be long for this world. I mean, AlphaStar has a ton of Lings out. It's starting to get up a Roach Warren, so we could potentially see more Roaches on the way here. DT is actually getting into the natural base of the Zerg. This is a nice move from the Protoss player. I mean, the Zerg player cut a Spore Crawler, so not actually having adequate detection there. That one Spore is going to move, but it was actually the Spore from the 3rd base. AlphaStar not covering all of its bases. This DT is now running towards that 3rd. It's going to start killing off drones and hurting AlphaStar's economy, which isn't that great already. I mean, that Queen could potentially be under fire. There's no Overseer just yet. Lings are still poking at the front, but there's Adepts defending the 3rd. Of course, there's a solid wall. This is just not going too well for AlphaStar. It's really being hindered further here. And the Protoss player is actually getting up a Robotics Bay. Double Immortal production going on behind this. Going to be Immortals in a Warp Prism, which can always be a pain for Protoss to deal with. And then maybe we'll even see a Colossus or 2 with the Robotics Bay on the way, since there is so many Lings for AlphaStar. Like, there is so many. 50 Lings just out on the map here. There is actually no Adepts at this 3rd base location now. They moved out of position, and the wall's actually left open. Oh, this could be a bit of a mistake from the Protoss. Oh, that wall, it's open. The Immortals moving in. AlphaStar not deciding to go in with its Lings, though. The Prism is potentially going to be harassing on the other side of the map. The Immortal does hold position there, so the 3rd base of the Protoss will be getting up. Meanwhile, AlphaStar is going to be getting harassed at its 4th base. There's still this gateway and pylon potentially for Warpins as well, but AlphaStar will potentially lose this 4th base. It's trying to get up a 5th because it just expands. But this is a blow to the Protoss, or to the Zerg AI, and yeah, as long as these Immortals get saved, that's a very nice move from the Protoss. The Protoss player now also going into double Colossus production. No extended thermal lance, no +1 attack or anything like that just yet. So the Protoss's army still isn't anything super formidable, but with sniping off these bases, the damage he's getting done is really nice. This hatchery gonna be under fire. And I think it's gonna go down. There we go. A cancel. AlphaStar still on 3 bases despite double expanding. Both of them got picked off. The Colossus production is on the way, but AlphaStar is gonna be going for another of these big roach attacks, like as it enjoys to do so. 2 Colossus are about to pop on out. They'll really help out with dealing with the Lings, but there's a ton of Roaches out now. 17 Roaches, 7 Ravagers. More Pylons on the way because the Protoss player actually got supply blocked, and now is a very bad time to be getting supply blocked. These Colossus and Immortals are going to have a tough time defending versus this. These other Immortals are in this Prism, and the attack is commencing here. The Protoss player is pulling back with his Colossus, with his Immortals and Archons, but they are locked on the outside. The Colossus taking big sweeps there with their lances as they are starting to work away on that Zerg army, but they don't deal that much damage to the roaches, to the ravagers, so it's going to be tough to clean up. The Protoss player has no choice but to step on out. Force field's going down, but the Protoss push back once again. Meanwhile, his third base is getting ravaged. The Colossus, they're putting out a lot of damage. Continuous firepower going out, but it's not amounting to enough so far. The Zerg army is still huge, and this Protoss player has been knocked down to 2 bases. 2 disruptors are on the way for the Protoss, but AlphaStar, with its superior macro, seems just to be making units non-stop, dwarfing the supply of the Protoss, and AlphaStar is actually just going to commit on in. It doesn't care. It's going for blood. The Colossus in the back still dealing damage, but AlphaStar is blanketing Corrosive Biles down. The +1 is done for AlphaStar, whereas the +1 for the Protoss isn't done yet. Extended Thermal Lance is about to finish up. Disruptors are out, so maybe the Protoss player can take a good fight here. But there is just so much Zerg pushing on in. The Corrosive Biles seem to always be finding a connection. AlphaStar is pulling back versus the Disruptors well enough. And this Protoss player, I don't even know if he's going to be able to hold on for long. The wall has been broken. The gates have been breached here, as this is just so much Zerg here. AlphaStar maxed out on supply. Doesn't matter if it loses a roach or 2. It seems to be doing just fine. Disruptor shot goes out. A big shot for the Protoss player. Another Nova is going out. I mean, all he really needs is a giant. It's just an incredibly successful fight, but the Zerg's going in. Disruptor getting more and more shots off. He's even microing with the Prism. Good micro from this Master's Protoss, but his probes have to be pulled into roaches and ravagers. It's not a good sign generally. More Disruptor Novas going out there. Supply has plummeted for both players here. The Protoss' player's army is quite a good one with Colossus, with Immortals and Disruptors, but still, I am not sure if the Protoss player is ever going to be able to come back from this situation. AlphaStar is up to 5 bases. The Zerg is just making more and more units right now. The Protoss player is pretty much now or never. He's got to push out. He's got these Disruptors, so he can maybe get the big shots off. I mean, is AlphaStar going to maybe throw this game away? I think it's just got to pull back and just keep making units, right? And then it'll just win out, because this Protoss player is on a very poor economy. Probably wants to transfer some probes down to this base to keep that production going. But as far as economies go, it's not a lot for this Protoss. The Protoss player trying to force the Zerg into another bad fight here. AlphaStar, though, knows that it just needs to buy time, so it's all out on the map with its units here. It split its forces up. And now we take a look here. The Protoss player wanting to push out on the map. He's got Disruptors, he's got Colossus and Immortals. It's a formidable Protoss army. It's still half the supply of the Zerg, though, so I don't know if this is going to work out. Disruptors moving forward. One Nova goes off, another Nova goes off, but they're getting focused down. One of the shots do get off, but I don't know if the connection was big enough there. It's suddenly no more of those Novas going to be going out to help pick off this Zerg army. The Protoss player wants to push on in. Keep in mind, AlphaStar has split its army, but it's still up 100 supply right now. And while you can dream, I don't know if the Protoss player is going to be able to make this happen. AlphaStar just defending for now, but yeah, the Protoss player just GG's as the counterattack moves into the natural base. He says, right, that's it. I'm not going to break the Zerg. And AlphaStar wins that ZVP. A very strong showing from the Zerg. Man, I'm having a lag spike here and there on my PC. So I hope that didn't affect the video too much. Ladies and gentlemen, though, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to press that like button. I've been doing these AlphaStar videos like a month or 2 now at this point, and if you keep enjoying them, I will keep doing them. So if you enjoy it, press that like button. I'm just also going to say, check out my Discord server. I link it in every one of my videos. I post there now and then, but it's just a nice little community to be part of. And then, of course, check out my other videos, as I do a lot of other non-AlphaStar StarCraft 2 content, so if you enjoy the commentary, check it out. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you made it this far, feel free to press that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.